are also always some things happening, and today I almost forgot to actually press the go live button. So but now I think we have it all under control. I am here today with the lovely Therese Eriksson, the video queen, and I'm super, super happy to have her here because I know, yeah, I know we are many who kind of like feel a little bit, I don't really want to go live. I don't want to be on video. I'm fine with posting. I'm fine with posting pictures of myself, but video, that's a completely different thing. So hi, Therese. Welcome to today's session of Josefine Meets. Let us hear a little
Yes,
bit about you.
thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm honored that you wanted to invite me to have this little chat. So I hope we get a lot of people that are joining. So let us know. Say hi if you're joining us, and let us know in the comments. We are streaming in a lot of different places, right? Hi, Osa.
Yes, we are
Yes.
streaming to
Perfect.
LinkedIn. We're streaming to my Facebook group, the Online Entrepreneurs Community, and we're actually on my YouTube channel too with a whopping 11 subscribers. So the
Whoop, whoop.
woohoo!
Great
But that is
work.
the thing, right? We need to start somewhere.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
everyone has like, and that's, I think no one has millions of subscribers or followers in the beginning.
No, for sure. But yeah, and so my name is Therese Eriksson. I'm a Swede too. So we both are Swedish, and I'm living in a city called Västerås. Not Västerås from Game of Thrones, almost, but almost kind of cool. That cool. But yeah, so I'm living in. I'm from Västerås. And I am a videographer and a filmmaker, so I do video content constantly online. So I do a lot of video content on LinkedIn, but I also have a YouTube channel where I'm traveling around the world and doing like travel content and stuff like that. And I also have what to call it? Yeah, I have a lot of different social media channels. So I'm very active on LinkedIn, but I also have, as I said, YouTube, but I also have been active on TikTok, Instagram. So I have some past experiences with those kind of platforms too. So in the beginning, when I was starting doing video, I actually wanted to be a reporter for a travel show called Nära och Fjärran in Sweden back in the days. So that was where my first big interest of being in front of the camera, and I wanted to show the world through the lens, and I wanted to be the presenter. So yeah, there's how I got into this whole thing. And I also went to a media high school where I studied journalism and filmmaking and radio, all kind of different media outlets, or what you call it. So yeah.
And I mean, there is not such a thing that I wanted to be, because you kind of are living the dream today. You are traveling the world. You do video clips for big hotels. You've done my reference videos, which is amazing. Thank you so much. We also have Maria and we have Karin with us. We actually have a little bit of a Swedish community going on currently, but we are not changing to Swedish
No,
because
no.
we have no because we also have a big community who speaks English, so that is the little bit the corporate language, and that is why we're doing this in English, even though both of us are Swedish. And I think that is another thing that people are also a little bit, oh, English is not my native language, or I'm not fluent in Swedish. We're fluent in Swedish, but I'm not fluent in English. Why should I then show up speaking English? For me, it's quite easy because I've been working and living abroad for 20 years.
Yeah.
And you also have international clients, Therese, right? So you are
Yeah.
doing that too. But how was it for you to switch from Swedish to English?
It has been a journey for sure. And in the beginning, a lot of my native speaking English friends, they were like, "Hey, this is wrong. This is wrong." But I have passed through, the spelling and grammar and all that, and I'm like, I just posted, and yeah, I'm not native, so I mean, it's better to go out and show up than that everything should be perfect. And if someone wants to see me as not professional because it's not professionally perfect English, well, then you're not for me. Honestly, you are not for me then, because I just care about the people who care about, showing up, coming there consistent, bringing value. So yeah, it but for sure it was a little bit of a struggle in the beginning, because I was like so afraid of, oh, I'm saying wrong and blah blah blah. And when I finally posted something in English and people were, coming back to me and say that, oh, this is wrong, it's a wrong spelling, or you can't write like this. And I was like, okay. But yeah, I made it. I have continued. So that's how it's have been for me. So how have it been for you?
Well, I moved to Switzerland plus minus 20 years ago, and in the beginning, I even wrote working papers in German. Imagine that. And there were actually quite some fun instances happening, because I translated everything kind of like I had many years of studies in German in school, but working in German or is a completely different thing, right? So there were many funny stories out of that one, but I think it's the thing we learn from too, right? If you're only focusing on the Swedish market or any national market, yes, absolutely, then you should stick to that language. But as we both work globally, it wouldn't make any sense for us to just stick to Swedish. It would be a very very narrow niche.
No, yeah,
I have clients from Sweden though, so when we do our one-to-ones, we speak Swedish then.
for sure, here too.
So maybe just quickly, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Josefine Meets. I'm a business coach and mentor, and I've been working with Therese in the capacity that she has done my reference videos for me. So that is actually how we connected through Åsa, who is here today too. We connected to Åsa, and that is the power of networking. You know someone who knows someone, and then swoop, someone has a client. Like I was Therese's client, and here we are today, sharing our stories with everyone, and also sharing some tips and tricks with how you can be on video. Before we started, what Therese did was so amazing. She said, she took up her phone and she said, oh, I'm just doing a story. And that is the thing, right? She has it like in your backbone. You're like, I'm doing a story now. And she did a story and just put it up online. To not make it like so complicated, just do it. Don't overthink things, just go out there. So that was like, have you always been like that, to grab things, see the simplicity in things, or was it something that you like had to overcome too?
Yeah, I for sure needed to overcome, and also try a lot of things out. I remember in the beginning when I was starting to do small clips. I was actually working, because I've been working in the car industry, and I was working at Mekonomen, and I was using Snapchat a lot. So I was actually trying my best to come up with small short stories every day on Snapchat, and I would like film small clips with my phone, and then I would upload it to Snapchat, because I had figured out a way to upload it to Snapchat, because otherwise you are just allowed to film inside the phone. But I was doing some small hacks, so I could always like make a little edit and then upload it there, and people were like, oh my god, how did you do this? Da, 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 da. And I was like, I have my small tricks. So I was doing, during the whole summer, I was doing small clips from my work at Mekonomen, at the store that I was working at, and I was doing every day. I had this challenge with myself that I was supposed to do something fun every day. During my walks, I would maybe talk about something. I would put up my phone and walk past it, and doing all this. So it have come with a lot of practice, of course, because in the beginning, if you looked at my videos, it was not pretty, but I was doing it, and I was doing it consistently, and I was having my small challenges with myself, like I will do this, and because I saw the possibility, and I was like, okay, I want to do this full time, so I need to start somewhere. And I was starting with Snapchat.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think that is also the thing, that we have, a bigger vision. We have somewhere where we want to go, and we realize, okay, so for me to get there, I have to do things. If there are, by the way, if there are any questions, from those of you who are here live with us, please add them in the comments so that we can see them, that we can pick them up. If it's a question for Therese or if it's a question for me, just post whatever you feel like. But anyways, But anyways, to have these kind of like the bigger vision for me, it was the same. I mean, I was so private. I've never been on Snapchat actually, but I was so private. I was kind of like, I didn't even have a profile picture on LinkedIn. My Instagram profile was extremely kind of like private with probably like 40 close friends, and I would never ever accept anyone unless I knew who that person was. So I think that is steps we have to take to get out of that comfort zone. And for me, it was I started on Instagram because that felt a little bit more freer, more creative. And now I'm more on LinkedIn because I feel it's easier for me to connect with people on LinkedIn.
Yeah, for sure.
Which channels do you prefer and why?
Because I'm B2B, I like, of course, then LinkedIn. I like YouTube because I can make, longer formats. It don't have to be such hard, fast environment, because I really honestly do not like this environment that like TikTok and Instagram and all this have created now, when you're supposed to do such super fast content, and I don't like that. I want to be more connected with my content and do more purposeful things. Honestly, I really do not like when I'm like doing like 3 tips on how to grow on social media, because it feels sometimes so brain dead, as we say. It's like, yeah, you can Google it, but I do it because honestly, I do it because of the algorithm. That's why. But when I do these longer formats, and of course I like to do videos, so I do them, but my passion lies in the longer formats where I can really dive into a subject that matters to me. When I do my travel videos, for instance, on YouTube, where I really can dig deep and create a bigger story around the subject. So I really like YouTube because of that. So, but it takes so much time to produce one of those videos, of course. But I also like LinkedIn because because I use it so much, and I get 98 of all my businesses from LinkedIn. So so it makes sense for me to be there and put valuable content there. So yeah, so YouTube and mainly LinkedIn, I would say.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for a couple of questions to come in here. Please, people, give us your questions. We need some action in the chat. But anyways, one thought that a little bit hit me is kind of like these. We have these like long form formats, but then you also have the shorter formats where you do some tips and tricks, and you often obviously do video formats. But what I've seen when I do video, but I'm not that consistent with video, but when I do video, the reach is a little bit not as wide as when I do a post or a selfie or whatever. And I sent this to you and what did you tell me? Do you remember that? Why should I do video instead of just short formats like captions and posts?
I don't remember what I replied, but I know what I should have replied. But yeah, so why you should do videos. So first and foremost, like one text view is like in comparison to 3 video views on LinkedIn, for instance. So that's the one reason. So if I get 100 views on my text post, it would be like 100 views on my video. It would be like 300 views on my text post. So that's one reason. And the second reason is because when I'm using and showing up with video, I get a completely other, a connection with my viewers, because people can see me, they can hear me, they can feel my energy if they like me or not. So so I can build a completely other connection with my followers. So a couple of weeks ago during Halloween, for instance, I was standing and watching my friend perform on an event, a Halloween event in Stockholm, and I'm just hearing somewhere like, Therese? I was like, yes. Yeah, and then it was a guy in the audience who recognized me from LinkedIn, and he was like, yeah, I'm following you on LinkedIn, da da da. And he was, talking about how he have followed me on LinkedIn. And it have happened to me so many times where people, they know me, but I don't know them. And another example, a couple of days ago or last week, I had a call with a person that I had connected to on LinkedIn and been connected to for a while. And he reached out to me, and he was like, I want a meeting with you. So in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, he was like, I want to have a meeting with you. I was like, okay. And he gave a suggestion, like, can you meet at 12? I was like, okay. So we had a meeting at 12, and the first thing he says when we like started talking, he was like, you do such a great job. It feels like I already know you. And you want to be there because the selling will be so easy because they know who you are, and they know if they can trust you or not and do business with you. So, and that's the thing you need when you do business, right? If they know if they can trust you. So that's super important. Can I trust you and do business? Can I hand over your money and I know that you will deliver on your promise? So if he wants to do business, if he feels that we are if we are good for each other and we are a fit, he will do business with me because he already trusts me. So yeah, that's super important, and you can't get that with that same feeling with just text and photos, because it's not the same. We are visual creatures, right? And we humans see in pictures. So if you can deliver a feeling and you can deliver anything through video, you have so much to gain on that, and it's going to deliver so much for you. That yeah, it's just amazing.
Before we jump into Kurt's question, I actually just wanted to give a comment on that one because I connected with someone and he was a guest on my first Josefine Meets. His name is Stefan Segin. And I was so convinced, because of his name, I was so convinced that he would speak with a French accent. That was kind of, you make up these pictures of people, how they will talk, how they will walk, how they will kind of move. When you just see them like on a picture or you see a text or whatever, turns out he's American and not French at all. But that is kind of like the thing, just because of the name, right?
Yeah.
So Kurt asked a really, really good question here. Do you find there is a different type of audience or customer type between video and text posts?
Probably yes. It's some people like to consume videos and some people like to consume text. So for sure. So I think it's important to when you are uploading content that you have in your videos, you have a text that is also basically writing the same thing. I do that. If I have a video, I'm basically writing the same thing in my text that my video is covering. So if I have bullet points like 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put that in my text too, because that's also going to be searchable on the platform. It's not the same on the video. So it's going to cover more of that. So people that wants to watch a video, and the algorithm is going to push videos in a certain way, in comparison to just text. So it's important to combine them so people can have option to just read, or if they want to watch the video. And it's also giving the person a really big or a really great way to get overview over the topic that you're talking about in the video, and just get the bullet points and the most important parts in the text, because everyone doesn't, as you say, don't want to watch the video.
Yeah, I'm one of those. I'm very impatient. I don't have time. I don't have time to watch videos. I like the bullet text. We got a great question from Åsa too. And do you get business from YouTube? I don't with my 11 followers, whereby it's like my mom and some of my clients. but that's it. But we are growing on YouTube. So do you get any clients from YouTube, Therese?
No, because I don't do marketing in that way on YouTube. So I don't do, my marketing tips or anything on YouTube. I only have my travel show. And I want to keep it that way. Maybe I will, because I have my Russian YouTube channel, or my Russian speaking YouTube channel, where we do this travel show. But we also do, or I also have a YouTube channel where I'm speaking English, and I'm not consistent with that channel, just to be honest, because I got so, when you're producing so much content, you need to sacrifice. You can't be on all the platforms at once.
Yeah.
So I gained all my efforts into LinkedIn, and I put like once a year a YouTube video on my Therese Eriksson YouTube channel, but I think I will do some more content on it. I will see, but no, I do not get any business in, like, my video marketing services through YouTube, but I get, brand partnerships through our travel show. So it's kind of, business, but it's not for my original business.
Yeah, and it's also a little bit how you promote your kind of like the travel shows, right? But for me, my YouTube channel is also not that I want to be a big YouTuber, even though I actually post about that I'm now a YouTuber. But it's more also because when we do landing pages, we can add the YouTube link to that. So that is also where I, for example, have the videos that you've done for me, Therese. I have them on my YouTube. This Josefine Meets series also goes to my YouTube channel under a certain kind of like playlist or whatever you call it. And that is how I use my YouTube channel. So we got another question here from Karin. Do you send lives direct, or do you always plan events? And how long is ultimate for a spontaneous live? So I do both, Karin. So I'll reply first. Then you can go to it. So I like to plan out the things unless there is something that just pops in my mind. For example, in my client Facebook group, I might go, oh, I'll pick this up and I will share it with you afterwards. It is something that we didn't manage to cover in a cohort or whatever. When it's like these events, I like to plan them in advance, because then you get people like you, like Åsa, like Kurt, who are able to be here with us so they can ask questions. I don't think they should be too long. So for these events, we plan them usually to be like 20, 30 minutes when I go live in the Facebook group, the online community. There I usually hold them under like around 10 minutes or something like that, because of the attention span of people. But it depends a little bit on the topic, what it is that we're sharing. Last week I had a guest on the here on this show, Tracy, and a very, very talkative, and there we continued up until 60 minutes, something like that. So I try to keep them around 30 minutes when it's like this series. What do you say about kind of like the perfect length for a live, or how would you best plan them, Therese?
Yeah, it depends on the topic, but yeah, and also when during the day you're going live. But yeah, it as you say, the attention span is a lot shorter than it has been. But if it's more important that you plan your live, I would say, than if you just sit and like don't know what to say, because then people are going to drop off. You need to keep it entertaining. You need to keep it engaging, so people don't want to fall off. They want to see everything or go back. If they need to jump off, they come back and watch the rest. But I would say 30-40 minutes too for a live. But you can also do, I was sitting 1 week ago or something, 1.5. I was sitting on an event for 3 hours, I think 3 or 4 hours. It was big like sales event, but he was producing so much value. He had a, of course, a high ticket offer that he wanted to give out to the audience. But if you're selling something as a high ticket, then you need to be longer with your audience than just showing up on these small short live where you are building brand awareness. So it depends on the event too. But it may be like 30-40 minutes if you keep it very entertaining and engaging with the audience.
Yeah, very good point. When I do my free workshops, we tend to hold them around 60 minutes too, also to allow for questions to be asked then. But they are also planned. They are planned way in advance. They are extremely planned by us, with slides and everything, so that we manage to capture everything. But I still think, the live, sometimes we also need to keep it a little bit spontaneous. Like this, we don't have a script, you and I. But there's like, when you did this thing with your mobile, I'll just share a story. Then I was like, we need to take up that one, because I think these are the cool things that people like me love to hear about people like you, from people like you who are like, oh, this is so easy. I just take my mobile and I just film something. And I'm like, oh, but the lighting is not right, or I don't have a microphone, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever it may be. Also has a great comment that I'm taking up here. I have 11 more followers than she has. Exactly. That is where we need to start. We need to start somewhere. Also, you have a podcast. I don't. So that is also amazing. So it's like, whenever we start, we manage to grow that. What we focus on, that actually grows. So that is a great comment.
Yeah, I have actually two concrete tips for someone that wants to start. So first of all, because we are talking about show up and be consistent and confidently on camera. So the first thing is actually an exercise that I want to introduce to your audience. And if you like, okay, I really want to show up myself on camera, because you can use the video without being on camera. But if you want to show up and show yourself, that's the main goal. Then I have a really good exercise for you to do. So for the next 30 days, I want you to take your phone. You take your phone every day. You put your calendar, set reminder every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, for instance. Like in the beginning, I often say to people, take it in the morning, like in the first thing you do, and you put a notification that you should film for 2 minutes each day. You take up your phone, film it for 2 minutes, and you use it like a diary. You write, you talk about how you feel, what you're going to do today, talk about the weather, just practice on taking out the phone and just record yourself. And do not think about anything about the lighting or anything. Just take it up and film yourself. And when you stop recording after 2 minutes, just put your phone away. Do not do anything with this video until the next day. Then you are filming. Right before you film, you take a look at the video that you filmed the day before, and then you can like reflect on it. Okay, how was the lighting here? What did I talk about? Then you can reflect a little bit about it, and then you film your 2 minutes again, and then you put your phone away, and you watch it the next day, and you do this for 30 days. And the reason is because, first of all, you will start to get comfortable with watching yourself on video. That's the first thing. And also hearing yourself, because that is a big struggle in the beginning. Like when I was studying media, and we were doing all this we were doing radio back then, but also all these films and all this kind of stuff, it was so hard to listen to yourself. So I understand the struggle there. But it's just to get used to it. So by this exercise, you will start to get used to watching and listening to yourself. And then during the week or during the month, you will get more and more creative. Like, okay, now I've talked about what I was eating yesterday for 5 days. Now it's kind of boring to listen to myself. So then you are going to, okay, maybe I can talk about what I'm going to do today, or how the day was yesterday, or the weather. And you start to practice a little bit about different topics, and then you start to see, oh, the lighting was like this. I looked very tired when I was inside the room. What's happening if I go closer to the window? Oh, I don't look so tired. Then you start to figure stuff out, because you're not going to show this to anyone. It's only you that are going to watch these videos. So do this for 30 days. It's a excellent way to get started and be consistent of just showing up for yourself. So that's the first
Cool.
thing. Yeah, and so the second tips I want you, when you, if you're already a little bit um, into this filming world, that you have already started to film yourself, but you are a little bit annoyed with yourself, like, oh, how can I sound like this? I talk too slow, blah blah blah. Then I have a really great advice for you, and that is to speed up your video just by 5 or 7%. If you feel like, okay, I talked so slow, or I don't like how I sound, try to speed it up like 5 to 7% and see what's happening, if you like it more, until you feel more comfortable. Like, okay, now I'm talking, and now I'm talking faster, and now I don't need to speed it up myself. So yeah, that's two advice.
Would you do that kind of like as a follow-up analysis of the when you record for these 30 days? Would you then would that kind of like be the or would you do that separately?
Yeah, I would do that separately when you are more comfortable, or not comfortable, but when you have content that you maybe want to upload into the social media sphere.
Yeah. So we got a here. I don't know. I think that can be Bijou, but I'm not sure. Could be because we have the LinkedIn user. Do I have any other additional questions for Therese before we shut down today's show? And by the way, Therese, before we shut it down, so before I forget, how do they best connect with you? How do people best connect with you if they have any follow-up questions?
Oh, LinkedIn is just to search for my name, Therese Eriksson, video queen. So yeah, and what I focus on mostly, of course, I do video content and those kind of things, like content marketing. But what I ask you, what you have been talking about too, is what I help mostly people with, or companies, is to capture video testimonials, because that is the most beautiful thing you can get from a client. But it also, I've seen so many mistakes that people are doing with the video testimonials. So in order for you to get sales, you need social proof that people actually getting results from your products or service. So that's what I do. So I do a lot of content around those, like tips and tricks around those kind of things too. So that's something you can, if you are into those kind of things, you're more than welcome to connect with me.
So we got a thank you from Kurt. Thank you for the great show and valuable content. Thank you, Kurt, and everyone else for showing up. And so I think the video challenge that Therese just recommended, the 30 days, is amazing. We also currently have a challenge ongoing in the online entrepreneurs community, which is my free Facebook group, which everyone can come and join if you want to. On Thursday, I'm going to cover the 3 pillars in social media, and you're more than welcome to come and join. It doesn't cost anything, it doesn't hurt, and it will be very like also tips and tricks there that what you can do. Thank you, Karin, too, for being here, and for coming. Since she's in Facebook, she's actually in my group, and Karin is also a really active participant in the challenge, so doing great there too. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Maria, for showing up too. And please reach out to us, connect with us. LinkedIn, both of us, Josefine Warner, Therese Eriksson. We're here. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great show, so thank you. I hope you found it valuable, and yeah, I'm looking forward. If you take the challenge, please let me know, and let me know how you progress and how I can support you. So thank you so much for today.
Thank you so much, Therese.
Bye bye.